Party.
Hello, welcome to the party. Hi, I've never met you before. I know.
Just two guys and we're having a good time. Having a good time. Having a good time. Just two guys and we're having a good time. Having a good time.
Welcome back to Just Two Guys. Tonight's a very special night. First off, we are live in front of the studio audience, so we'll say hi to them. Hey, thank you. Look at that guy out there. He's
Quite a
happy
character.
to be here. Awesome. But we also have, in addition to the wonderful live audience, we have viewer questions for the first time. They've submitted questions, and here's where you would submit those questions. Right here, we got that down.
Yeah, it's right there.
So we'll take more if anybody wants to do it. But do you want to start off with the first viewer question?
Sure, I'll ask the first viewer question, which was one that really had me laughing a lot today.
Okay.
Okay, now this is a scenario question.
Okay.
You're at a job interview at a very prestigious restaurant, and you just clogged the toilet. It is now overflowing profusely. What do you do?
Well, roll up my sleeve. That's you got to do it. I mean, it's your first day in the job. Roll up my sleeve, start fishing, and hope the outcome is refreshingly wonderful. I hope there's a plunger nearby. Is that part of the question? Or?
No, there's no plunger anywhere in sight. You're going in solo, my friend.
Get the reel out.
Yep.
Going fishing.
Going fishing.
Whew, that's not a pleasant feeling. All right, John, I'm going to start you off on a good one. This is a viewer question.
Okay.
Beeswax candles. Romantic glow of love or insidious tool of witches and Satanists everywhere? That's a great question.
The first one, romantic glow of love or something like that.
You really think so?
Yeah, because I've read that regular candles have a lot of carcinogens in them that beeswax candles do not.
Oh.
So despite all the witchcraft and all that hubbubbery, I think they lack. Suddenly got very quiet.
I think the audience is not liking what we're doing.
They're witches. So I would go with the beeswax. I support beeswax candles.
Okay.
I don't want to die.
For romantic glow of love.
Oh, yeah.
For the ladies.
Exactly, for the ladies. Okay, is it my turn?
Your turn.
Okay. If you were to lose a sense, what would you want it to be?
Oh, lose one of your senses. I guess I'll go with the smell.
The smell.
There seems like there's more unpleasant smells out there than pleasant smells.
Interesting. I always think of the smell as being a twofer, though, because you lose some of your taste, too.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to lose my taste at all. I need a little flavor in life.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't want the flavor coming through here. If you know.
Gotcha. Good answer.
All right, so that's a good question.
Not mine. It was a viewer question.
Viewer question. These viewers are on top of these things. All right. If a company developed a cigarette that was both nutritious and so it's not harmful to you at all, and non-addictive, would you smoke it? If so, what would you name the brand?
Wow, that's an insane question.
John, I just happen to have one of these right here. To see if you can... I don't have a light on me.
No, I don't think so.
You wouldn't take one of those?
No, I have
never
no
have
reason
a
to
light.
start new things. I don't need a light, but well, this is a really healthy looking cigarette.
No, you wouldn't do it.
No, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of things I don't do. Like I don't drink Gatorade, but that's apparently supposed to be good for you.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like I don't need to add more things. So
Even if it's healthy.
no, I don't know. I can't even get my mind around that. Unfathomable.
I hear crickets.
Okay. Is it my turn again?
Your turn.
Was that a viewer question?
No, that was my question.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
why the props had to come in.
The props.
Gotcha.
came in, yes.
Okay. Let's see. Imagine you could trade places with anyone for just 1 week. The person could be famous or not famous, living or from history, real or fictional. With whom would you trade places?
That's a good question. I wouldn't want too much responsibility, but I'd like the life of wealth. I would actually go with the Bill Gates just to feel the wealth.
Bill Gates.
Yeah, I think I just to feel the wealth.
Yeah.
For a certain.
And the power. He
yeah,
wields
and
a
the
lot
power.
of power.
And the power. I mean, he's not even CEO anymore. I mean, he's not even in charge of the company anymore.
Right.
So he's just got a lot of money.
He's helping the poor in Africa.
I'd probably cut that out.
you need more yacht time.
Yeah, I'd need more yacht time
That's
for that.
excellent.
Yeah. That's
I
a
like
good
that.
question. That's a good question. Now, this one's right up your alley.
Okay.
This question's right up your alley. What Star Trek character do you most relate to? Would you say it would be Kirk, Spock, Bones, or Scotty?
Bones. I don't know.
It's more up your alley than mine. This is a viewer question. And I'd like to hear why.
That's a really good question. As the crickets chirp again. Spock, I think.
Be Spock.
I'd be Spock.
like
I
that.
sort of related to his social awkwardness.
Do you have the ears for it?
Well, I could. They're big enough. I could just
Okay.
sort of mold them. Like,
Well, didn't
yeah.
I never watched Star Trek, but I know to do this, right?
Yeah. I think the finger has to stay close.
Oh, the finger. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so I'd go with Spock, I think.
That's good. That's a good
Yeah.
answer.
Kirk was kind of a douchebag.
What? Garbage bag?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's great.
My turn, huh?
I think it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to ask one of my own questions this time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let me see, where did I put it? Okay. Just Two Guys goes nationwide. We get picked up by a cable affiliate. In the middle of a
Wow.
live feed, you get up to use the restroom, but unbeknownst to you, your wireless mic is still on. You bump into a good friend in the bathroom. What would you rather millions of people hear you ramble on about? A, complaining about a good friend. B, complaining about the co-host of your television show, who is a complete tool, by the way. C, complaining about your wife. Or D, complaining about your parents. Now, millions of people are going to hear this. Which one do you think you could recover from the most easily? A.
A friend.
A good friend.
A good friend. Definitely not C.
No, definitely.
No recovery there.
Excellent.
That would be an attorney recovery.
I'd probably forgive you. I'd understand.
I wouldn't do that to you.
I would hope not.
You're my co-host.
You'd really hurt my feelings.
No, I wouldn't. You'd cry.
I do cry a lot.
I would cry.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to another viewer question here. I like this one. If your name could have any meaning, what would you say it meant and why?
If my name could have any meaning.
Any meaning.
Probably be like ruler of the spear-toting dragons or something. Something really amazing, powerful sounding. Like they throw spears, they're dragons, they have fire and scales
Sounds
of armor.
Nordic.
Yeah, something. Yeah, that's probably something Nordic. Yeah. That's my ancestry. So
I like that. It's a good question.
yeah,
That's a good
that is a good question. What would you choose?
Oh, I
I'm
would
gonna
say.
throw this one back at you.
Oh, that's. He-Man would be.
He-Man. That's,
would just mean He-Man.
Michael means He-Man.
I have the power.
That's great. Okay. Jerry Lambert catches. No, that's not. I don't want to do that one. I'll save that one for.
Hello, you just started off with Jerry Lambert. How bad could that
You
be?
awaken one day to find a cowboy hat on your doorstep. This is no ordinary cowboy hat. It's
Wait, is this a Jerry Lambert question? Is it Jerry Lambert and the cowboy hat? Okay.
no Jerry Lambert.
Okay.
No, this is totally you. You
right.
wake up, you find a cowboy hat on your doorstep. It's no ordinary cowboy hat. It's bright purple with a lot of rhinestones, little frilly things hanging all around the brim.
I like it already.
And it just has the word sexy in glitter right across the front. You decide to just pick it up and throw it away. But while you're inside, you're thinking about throwing it in the garbage can, you put it on. And you realize when you put it on, it gives you incredible strength, like the kind of strength you can use to lift cars off of children and take trees out of the ground and do all of these amazing things, but only when you wear the hat. So Do you wear the hat at all times to ensure that if there's ever an emergency, you can use your secret power? Or because it's so ugly and atrocious, do you leave it?
I would wear the hat.
You'd wear it
daily. That
Excellent.
would be, and I would like put a sticker on the back and just like put it says freak. I just it would be awesome.
That's awesome. You'd have the strength to fight anyone off, probably.
Yeah, who's gonna care? I
mean, I don't really know.
I'm sexy.
You are, and it's in glitter.
Yeah, it's in glitter. Who's gonna mess with me?
Your name's in glitter.
I love
He-Man.
that. That's a good question. All right, let's see. John, if you decided to patrol the streets of Springfield as a vigilante, what kind of costume would you wear and what would you name yourself?
I'd be the nudist, and I'd lurk in the dark.
Wait, I think that guy's in my neighborhood.
What guy? Yeah, my gimmick would be the nudist, and I would bludgeon people to death who had done wrong.
What, wear clothes?
With a large wooden tool. And I would lurk in the darkness at all times.
I'm sorry. Okay, we're good.
Okay. And we're back.
And we're back.
Okay, is it my turn
I'm
again?
loving these
I'm losing
things.
track.
Yeah,
of this.
your turn.
Okay. If you could save time in a bottle, what the hell would you do with it?
Save time in a bottle?
Yeah.
I would drink it.
I've always wondered, what the hell would someone do with saving time in a bottle?
I don't know.
It's still not useful to you in a bottle.
No, it's just in a bottle. You might as well drink it.
Damn you, Jim Croce.
I don't know. Time in a bottle. What could you do with it? Could you just spread it out?
Pour
This is
one
for
out
me.
for your
This is
dead
one
home.
for my dead homies.
I don't know. What do you do with time in a bottle?
I guess that's what you do with time in a bottle.
I guess.
Or I'm just not intellectual enough to think of the answer.
Me neither.
I know I'm not. Okay. I have got another viewer question. All right.
Oh.
How am I as an interviewer? Be honest.
I'd have to say that if I were to rank interviewers on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being Ann Curry from the Today Show,
Okay.
5 being Regis Philbin, you'd be approximately 43.2. You're an amazing interviewer.
Wow.
I have to give you props. You're
Thank
an
you.
amazing interviewer. If they had you on Channel 20, I have no question it would be that channel would rule the universe.
It would certainly rule a few people
Yeah.
who couldn't receive the other channels on the satellite. Well, that's a good answer. That's a good
Thanks.
answer. I like
you're-
that answer.
You're a great interviewer.
Oh, thank you. It's one of the viewer questions. I'm not trying to.
Now, here's another viewer question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you were to, let's say, release some gas in public, would you rather it smell really badly or make a really loud noise?
Interesting question. Flatulence. That's interesting.
These are both from the same viewer, too, I happen to know.
They've got quite a mind.
Yes.
Oh, I think the aroma is easy to run from.
The aroma. So
I think so.
You'd rather it be a stinker.
I think
People
so.
are unsuspecting.
I think so, and that degrades my image. I'm
That's nice. Now, I think we have time for one more
One
question.
more question. Okay, let's see. Let me get to this here. If Hollywood made a movie about your life, who would you like to see played the lead role?
Of
Who
my
would
life?
be you? That's a viewer question.
Steve Buscemi.
Nice.
I love that guy.
Nice.
Great actor. I'd be proud to have him play me.
Cool, cold, murderous, villainous character. I like it.
Kind of like buggy eyes, just like me.
Yeah. All right. This is a great question and
Yeah.
answer session, and I think we'll wrap it up. And we'll get to the horseshoe part 2 coming up next.
Great. Okay, welcome back. For those of you who have been watching our show for a while now, you know that one of our things is to taste horseshoes in the area and at some point try to determine what is the best horseshoe in Central Illinois, which really means the best horseshoe in the world because they don't exist anywhere else.
Right.
Although they did at one time. We'll get to that later.
We will get to that.
Well, recently we got together and we had several people taste 4 horseshoes from local eateries. we had Westwoods Lodge,
Mm-hmm.
Sammy's Sports Bar and Grill, Springfield Family Restaurant, and the Office
Yes,
Sports
yes.
Bar. We sat down, we ate the horseshoes, we graded them. This time it was really scientific. We had all sorts of statistics that we were able to use, and
We had a spreadsheet.
it was great.
Yeah.
Official scorecards.
Official scorecard.
And we recorded the whole thing,
Referees.
and it's now online at our website, which hovers about here in the
Yes.
air in front of us.
You can watch the entire episode.
You can watch the entire episode. It's about 17 minutes long,
Yeah.
I think. And basically, we won't go into it here because you can watch it there, but
Yeah.
of those 4 horseshoes, Westwoods Lodge was the clear winner.
The cheese.
The
Watch
cheese.
the video on the
It-
internet, because the cheese just proves your point.
It was dynamite cheese.
It was dynamite. It was
looked gross,
unbelievable.
but
Yeah,
it
it
was
looked
tasty.
disgusting. It looked like waxy frostiness type stuff.
Yeah, it was horrid.
Yeah, but you actually got a good taste of it at the end.
I
of
did,
It.
yeah.
You have to see that on the show.
It was really attractive.
Yeah. I mean, the others were fine except for Sammy's.
Yeah, Sammy's
That
was.
was not our favorite.
I would refer to that horseshoe as skanky. It was not good. Not good at all.
I hate to anger some Sammy's fans, but that was...
So if you want to see the whole episode and you see the process we went through and watch us in really fast motion,
Yes.
talking and stuff, go to the website. It's just-2-guys.blogspot.com, and you can view it.
We
from
actually
there.
had a food taster help us out, too.
An
so-
official food taster.
Official
yeah.
food taster, and he agreed.
He agreed. We agreed all
Agreed.
across the board.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was good times. And now, if you haven't seen the show before, you don't know this, but we've been doing a history. We've been really digging into the history of the horseshoe.
yes.
And you know, the original, what people want you to believe here is that the horseshoe originated in Illinois. Well, it's not really that simple. As
No.
with all good things, there's a deep, deep history.
I thought you said with all good things, it didn't start in Illinois.
Well, that's true. But no, we've found a long history that starts all the way back in Nordic, pre-Middle Ages.
Yeah, about 1100.
And the horseshoe was passed through the Middle Ages in England, and then it wound up on the shores of America
Yes.
with the Pilgrims. Would you like to pick it up from there?
Well, I did
That's
pick
sort
it
of
up.
that's the end. Okay,
well, because I did the Revolutionary War
right.
part of it,
and
then
how Americans all got
Americans all got obese. We beat the
Okay.
British, and then it went to you, and that's
right.
where we're.
Okay, then I'll pick it up from there.
Yeah.
So, after the Revolutionary War, the horseshoe, as so many things did, it started to sort of spread south and west in the United States. So the horseshoe made its way in the south, and it really got entrenched in the south. It was really a dish that people savored there. So it was changed slightly because the type of food available in the south was different than the type of food available in the north. It consisted of wild game, bread or corn cakes, covered in boiled potatoes and slathered in a cheese sauce or a gravy made from the meat drippings.
Oh.
And I actually found, as I was researching, a reference to this in a Thomas Nelson Page short story, who was a famous Southern writer named
Wow.
Little Darby. He
Done your
writes,
research.
he went into the woods with his old gun and shortly returned with a few squirrels, which he cooked for her, lay on some corn fritters from the day prior, and covered in potatoes and a mean squirrel gravy. It was the first real meal, she told him, that she'd tasted in weeks. So that's evidence right there that this was alive in the 18th century.
That's proof.
And so, from the south, as you know, we covered with Sangamo Town, a lot of people were moving from the south to Illinois, to the frontier. They wanted land, they wanted opportunity.
Right.
With that, they brought the horseshoe. And so I found a story about this. Actually, I've always heard that the Leland Hotel started. There were people coming in late one night. They wanted some food.
Sure.
What really happened, and I found this in an old traveler's journal,
Uh-huh.
which I have right here in this,
Oh, you got
this
it.
old book,
Okay.
was that late one dark and stormy night, a lone horseman rode into Springfield. After settling up at the stable, the mysterious rider made his way to the kitchen at the Leland looking for a meal. Well, the kitchen staff said, "We're out of almost everything. We're just out. We don't have any food." And they said, "We have some rare bit sauce left over, a little bit of bread, some beef scraps, and some potatoes." And he said, "That sounds like a dish from back home." And he told them how to throw it all together, and they did. And while he ate, he told them all these stories about where he was from in South Carolina, from the low country in South Carolina. And he told them it was the horseshoe sandwich. And let me read to you what he says about the horseshoe sandwich.
Please do.
It says here, back home, it's named a horseshoe because it's a dinner big enough to stick with a man as long as the shoes will stick with his horse. And think about it. That's true. The portions in a horseshoe are so big.
It is. It's so
it
true.
It fills you up. It stays with you.
It sticks with you.
Yeah. So the people at the Leland were so interested in this story, in the rich story, and he was apparently a really good storyteller, that the next day they put it on the menu and they started selling it regularly. The sad thing is, this guy had nobody knows who he was. He left the next day, and no one was ever able to give him credit. We'd have to find that out
at some point.
No one was ever able to give him credit. So we'll have to do some more digging, I guess.
Well, that pretty much completes the history up until today. I went digging on the internet, and you know that webpage where it tells you the future history of everything? I don't know how they do it, but it's the future history of everything.
Yes,
I printed off this page, so I'm just going to read it off. I actually haven't read it yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and start here. Future history of the horseshoe, as told in 2046. The next phase of the history of the horseshoe began in early 2007. It was during a telethon on Access 4 hosted by none other than Mario Lopez of the early 90s cult classic Saved by the Bell, and then local television reporter Sarah Wojcicki.
Wow.
They are, of course, now better known for the restaurant empire known as Horseshoes to the Max. The telethon was in support of the Legal Defense Fund for Micah Roderick and John Anderson for their violation of the Springfield smoking ban. We didn't even light up.
I don't know what to make of this.
Wrong. The violation occurred during one of their question and answer sessions. President Walton would later say of the Just Two Guys television show that it did for society what laxatives do for toilets.
Wow, that's something.
Harsh.
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay, one good thing did come from the telethon. After Sarah and Mario realized that more people were calling in asking which horseshoes were best rather than actually providing funds for the legal defense, they decided to bring the horseshoe to Hollywood. It was first rejected by the mainstream members of the community due to its high fat and cholesterol content, but it eventually settled in as a new hip meal after the new fusion religion Hindu consumerism popularized it.
Hindu consumerism is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. We're close to it.
I knew that was coming.
These fusion religions, I tell you.
Crazy.
It began appearing in movies and television, and restaurants began developing their own specialty horseshoes, including the ever-popular breakfast horseshoe, which includes toast with bacon, eggs, sausage, topped with hash browns and cheese sauce.
Wow.
Eventually, McDonald's was bought out by Horseshoes to the Max, and they are better known today in slang terms as H-Max.
H-Max.
Yeah,
that sounds delicious.
Yeah. The problem of obesity was always a lingering problem. People were addicted to the horseshoe by 2023, and the average weight of an average adult had ballooned to 30 pounds in 20 years. So people were getting kind of fat.
Right.
Manufacturers could not keep up with the demand of rascals. Flying cars were just starting to come into the market, but scientists could not meet the demand of the propulsion needed to get these people off the ground. So they had to do something about it. That's when physicist Holger Finstenmacher, hope I pronounced that right,
some name,
came up with a formula that essentially gives people the ability to eat what they want without any health consequences. This is great, with the exception of violent diarrhea. Okay. They always put it in quotes.
Isn't that Olestra?
It became a healthy, inexpensive, and filling meal that could be made virtually anywhere in the world and maintain regional flavors and tastes. I've always had that dream. I'm glad it's going to come true.
Yeah.
Today we can look back at the history of the horseshoe and see its rich and up and down history. Little did those Vikings know that way back at the beginning of the second millennium, the horseshoe would eventually be the antidote to world hunger.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and it reads on here that tells what happens to us. John and Micah ended up spending 3 years in prison and were eventually kidnapped and forced to do television shows in Paraguay. There's a conspiracy theory going on that the U.S. government plotted the kidnapping. They have not been heard of in 15 years. So
it's going to be the CIA
it's
that
kind
gets
of
us,
a bleak histoy for us, but the horseshoe seems like it's going to be doing well.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm convinced that the government's going to be behind it as much as the Freemasons. I think it's going to be the Freemasons.
Is there a difference?
Perhaps not. Wow, that's interesting. So this website, the Future History, it's academics, I assume, that travel time. I mean,
well,
I don't know much about the site.
I'm not sure how they do it. I'm not sure if there's a scientific method that they go about doing this. Where
do they extrapolate from?
Right. They look at history and then they turn it into the future. I'm a little disappointed that the flying cars aren't around by that point.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the horseshoes.
And we'll be in prison
flourishing.
for most of this, and then in Paraguay.
I can't believe they gave us 3 years for almost smoking a cigarette on the air.
I don't even speak Paraguayan.
I don't either.
And
We're forced to do television down there.
well, I'm not so concerned about that, but I don't think I would do very well in prison.
No, I don't think we'd do well at all.
No,
that would change us.
I was listening to Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison album today, live. We talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
And just listening to that, I was afraid.
Yeah, prison scares me too.
So,
I'm kind of a weak man.
Yeah, so it's interesting that the horseshoe was started as such a humble, brutal dish back in Nordic times.
Yes, it was humble, brutal.
With Snorri Harsgaard.
With Snorri Harsgaard.
And it ends up really saving
humanity.
the world.
Yeah. It's an amazing but long transition to that point.
I'm glad we've started digging into this.
I'm glad we started digging into it too. I mean, this has been an exciting adventure for the both of us, I think. I mean, look at this book that
Don't
you've had
hold
to...
my hands.
I wasn't going to touch you.
No, I had to actually steal this from the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, I said that on the air.
That might be why you go to prison.
No, that is it. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Just kidding, by the way.
Sorry, guys. We don't mean to...
I checked this out.
I don't think these people have been to our show before because
there's not a lot.
much happening going on.
No, they don't seem to like this.
No. We'll have to do a audience interview at some point.
Yeah.
When the cameras are off, because I don't know if they're going to be too happy with the show.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, what else about horseshoes? We have just a couple of minutes left, which are an eternity when you've run out of things to talk about.
Well, do you think a Just Two Guys sitcom would be very funny?
A Just Two Guys sitcom. I don't know. I'm concerned because if you remember a few years ago, Emeril Lagasse had a TV show, a sitcom.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a sitcom based on what he does. It was like the sitcom was based on him putting on a TV show about cooking. Mm-hmm. Horrible.
I think ours would be awful.
Probably. It would be so boring.
It would be the worst sitcom.
It would be like,
in
we're
history.
tuning in with John, and I'd just be sitting there for hours, like clicking at a keyboard.
And then we'd have like awkward silences in the sitcom, even though we have writers.
Yeah.
It would be bad.
They wouldn't get paid anything, so they'd be horrible writers.
It's like everybody else around us.
Our dogs would all be chipping in to write, and it would be terrible. So, yeah, I'm gonna veto that for a while until we get a budget.
I think we probably should veto that one.
Yeah.
I don't think the sitcom.
Now maybe a Just Two Guys Flash animation.
Oh, we could do the Flash animation.
Would be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should wrap it up at this point since we've gone way over our budget. So, well, join us next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing up to the show.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Oh wow, hey, that's quite a response.
Hello, welcome to the party. Hi, I've never met you before. I know. Just two guys and we're having a good time. Having a good time. Having a good time. Just two guys and we're having a good time. Having a good time.